Hi, Choose Yourselfers. This is Olive Persimmon, author of Unintentionally Celibate. And recently I was asked to write a spoken word poem about the Choose Yourself book to perform at a Choose Yourself Meetup. So I wanted to share it with those of you who were unable to attend the event and also thank those of you who were in attendance. So here it goes. It's called You Don't Get to Choose. 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 I get to choose. I get to choose because I am beautiful, bold, and brilliant. I am honest, funny, and kind. I am a badass of revelry, big-hearted and brave, a balsamic reduction of babeness, whatever that means. But make no mistake, I'm not boastfully bragging. This isn't a boisterous and blatantly bad promotion of myself to end my celibacy or my singledom. Rather, it is an exercise. It's an exercise in speaking my truth. And I need to do it because my loving myself muscles are atrophied and weak. Because I've spent my entire life desperate for validation, your validation, because I couldn't love myself unless you loved me first, and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore because I've been sitting around paralyzed in fear, waiting for you to tell me I was worthy. Waiting for you to tell me I was good enough and pretty enough and smart enough and funny enough, smart enough, good enough, pretty enough. And when I say you, I mean everyone. I mean the millions of invisible faces I'm trying to impress, and it is madness trying to impress millions of invisible faces. And I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore because 3 Tuesdays ago, I was contemplating this madness when I saw my people. They were sitting in the park at 2 p.m. wearing lime green nail polish and eating fresh blueberries because they didn't care if their fingers were stained because they weren't trying to impress anyone. Entrepreneurs and dreamers totally out of their minds. But make no mistake, they aren't lazy lollygaggers wasting the day away. They're sitting in the park at 2 p.m. because they make their own schedules. Because the day before they were writing till midnight or generating ideas like a machine at 8 p.m. while the rest of the world was watching TV. And they look happy and free. And I realized that I've somehow lost myself because I lost my people. And when I think about my people, I know that I need to make a new choice. Because I wake up at 7 and get home at 6 and I'm too tired to create anything at all. And there are my people sitting in the park wearing blue dresses with polka dots because they chose themselves. Because they play their own game by their own rules and they have arms covered in tattoos and suits made out of plaid. And I have suits, corporate suits made out of black and polyester, and my arm is covered in writing too. It's not permanent ink, it's just Sharpie, but my black suit hides it because other people, not my people, think it is silly to write on your arm and they don't care if it is permanent or not. And these people ask me to follow their rules and play their game because we have made an agreement where we exchange time for money. So from 9 to 5, they tell me where to go and what to do and how to do it, and I do it their way because I made a choice to exchange time for money, and it is nobody's choice but mine. But it's the choice I made. So I get my nails done and I do my hair and I hide my arm covered in Sharpie and I follow the rules and I play the game because I don't have the courage to play my own game. And the truth is I am scared to choose myself because I have rent to pay and mouths to feed. Okay, it's just the cat, but all the same. And I'm afraid that I'm stuck in some sort of cycle of comfort and safety. And I'm afraid that I'm done trying to do anything but go to work and come home. And even though I love my job, and even though I'm grateful that they pay me and I'm learning so much and that my coworkers are kind and my boss is funny, and I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that. But when I see my people with lime green nail polish and blueberry stained fingers, I know that in my current world that wouldn't be okay because God forbid a client, the people who pay my company to pay me, see my lime green nails and find me, gasp, unsuitable and choose someone else And even though my brain is filled with orange and lime green and red and blue and bright colors and ideas and brilliance, it doesn't matter, because someone somewhere decided that corporate America needed to be dull and standard, because someone somewhere decided that professionalism somehow equates to boring. So we eliminate the exclamation points from our emails and lime green nail polish and opt for pale pink instead. Our black suits become a costume we wear for a character we play, and then we get off work to meet our friends at the bar to be our real selves for the first time all day, all week, all month, all day, all week, all month, and we know that we have to make a different choice, because it's a charade that is unsustainable, like all charades are, and our desperation for validation becomes our new situation, and too often to escape we turn to social media medication. And it's not just corporate America that I'm trying to impress. When I wrote my book, I needed the publishing houses to validate me. In my mind, unless the mainstream publishers told me it was good enough, it wasn't good enough. "What's your platform?" she said, glaring over her desk. "Humor doesn't sell unless you're somebody. Get back to me when you have 10,000 followers on Twitter. And sure, it's funny, but it's not as funny as, say, Jenny Slate. And of course, she's somebody and you're nobody." So I started judging my book the way that they were judging it and the way that they were judging me, and I was so desperate for their validation that I wasted another year trying to get them to like it, to like me. And when they didn't, because they didn't, my loving myself muscles turned to mush and became useless, non-existent entities buried underneath low self-worth, totally dependent on the opinions of others. But it is a new era. You no longer need them to choose you, and you no longer have to paint your nails pale pink if you don't want to. So you no longer get to choose how I feel about myself or my work or my book. And you don't get to choose what I get to love, and you don't get to choose what I get to wear, and you don't get to choose if my book will sell, and you don't get to choose if I am somebody, and you don't get to choose how I feel about him or her, and certainly, most definitely, most certainly not myself. You don't get to choose, 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 you don't get to choose. I get to choose, because I am beautiful, brilliant, and bold, because I am honest, funny, and kind, because I am a badass of revelry. You don't get to choose. You no longer get to choose. You don't get to choose. I get to choose. I get to choose. You don't get to choose. You don't get to choose. I get to choose. I get to choose. And I chose myself. And so can you.